Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. How's everybody?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Today
Alhamdulillah.
we continue our class, Advanced Research Methodology, and we continue our presentation of initial plan. And for today's class, we invite Dr. Sufyan to start the presentation.
Okay. Okay. Can we start, bro?
Sure.
Okay. So Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all of students, my friends, okay, to my supervisor, Assistant Professor Dr. Yusuf Ajazman. So today I'm going to present what I presented in my colloquium 1. Okay. My PhD title is I want to evaluating customer intention to use online Islamic banking services among university students in Malaysia. Previously, it's customer acceptance, but from the experts' opinion, they said to me that I need to change it to intention to use. We will discuss later, but I would like to finish my presentation first. Okay. Okay. Next, this is my overview of my presentation. I will cover up about the background of the study, problem statement, research question, research objective, the scope of the study, the significance of the study, contribution of the study, and limitation of the study. I add another 2 components, which is literature review and research methodology. I add in the last 2 slides. Okay. So the main motivation why the main motivation is study to understand the determinant factors that contribute to customer intention to use online Islamic banking services among university students in Malaysia. So among the student in Malaysia, among the university student in Malaysia, public university actually. Okay. So the Islamic banking services are focused on payment using digital platform, namely e-commerce, online money transfer, or utility payment. Okay. So studies into what influence customer acceptance or intention to use towards online Islamic banking are important for Islamic banking institutions to design services that meet with their customer needs in Malaysia. So in the same time, the study will support government initiative to develop facilities of digital economy transformation in Malaysia. Okay, yeah, if you work in COVID-19, the government try to go for the contactless payments, digital marketing, also online banking, something like that. So the government in Malaysia more focused on the digitalization of the banking system in Malaysia. Okay, so background of study, you can see in the south slide, online banking has become very important and a necessary tool for survival of the financial institution as the culture, water, and ETO in 2002. And the rapid change in technology give impact and mean that they change the system of the financial system to cater with the technology advancement, as Abu Sanab and Person said in 2007. Therefore, the Islamic Bank must change their operations to comply with the current technology, current generations, to encourage and to develop more business operation that meet with a better technology advancement in current situation. Focus in Malaysia, but it is into the global. Okay, and then therefore this study give a new insights. Okay, to investigate customer intention. So we need to know, we need to do a study to know how to increase the customer intention to use or the penetration rate. Okay, so this study give emphasize the factors that influencing the customer intention to use online Islamic banking services. So the variable involved in this study is attitude, subjective norm, perceived variable control, perceived easy of use. Okay, so this is my factors. Okay, this variable is essential in evaluating the customer acceptance or intention to use toward Islamic banking services among university students in Malaysia using structural equation modeling. Okay. Okay, the recent problem is the fast growth of internet and market globalizations attracts and retain customer use to in the online banking system, which is by the Salem et al. In 2019. Therefore, as a result, Islamic banking institution changed from traditional to become online banking to support the development and innovation of technology. Then, as highlighted in the Malaysian budget 2020, the Malaysian government provide more budget, 250 million, to increase the facilities, especially in Sabah and Sarawak. Therefore, all of this proof show that this there is an opportunity to Islamic Bank to go for the online banking or to provide a better online banking services for financial transaction in Malaysia actually. Okay, in this table we show the internet banking and mobile banking subscribers. You see from 2015 is 9.8 penetration only. Okay, and the right side, okay, the up corner is 9.8 from in 2015. Okay, and it's increasing until May 2020. It's become 105.2% penetration. So good penetrations of internet banking and mobile banking. So that it shows that there's opportunity for Islamic banking to join this area to make sure all of their online banking cater or meet with the requirement or needs of the current generation. Okay. It summarizes that Malaysia has a good potential in promoting online banking services, Islamic online banking services. Therefore, Islamic banking services must take this opportunity to increase their business model, okay, to aggressively promote their online services. Okay. Another table is about the internet and mobile penetration, volume, and value. Okay, as you can see, is internet banking penetration to population is high. In July 2020 is 107.4%, but for the mobile banking penetration to population still at low level, which is 57.5%. So still this study is valid to make sure our mobile banking penetration can be increased. That's why we see this is our research problem for this study. We want to increase the mobile banking penetration. Okay, the report by Fitch Ratings in Singapore in 28th of February 2021 say that the share of Islamic financing in the banking system reached 37% by end of 2020, I mean last year. Okay, however, the value of 37% is still at lower level. That makes this study is relevant to pursue assessing and increasing the customer intention to use online Islamic banking in service in Malaysia. It's only 37%. So we try to issue in larger numbers. Okay, so this is a problem again. This table show or this graph show the Islamic banking statistic about the assets by the source of Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay, we can see in this graph, 2017, the Islamic banking total asset value for Islamic banking is 30%. Meanwhile, the conventional is 70%. So there is still a room for improvement for Islamic banking to gain more advancements, to gain a better numbers in terms of total assets. Okay. In addition, Islamic banking statistics in financing also shows the figure indicate that total financing for Islamic banking is 34.9%. So it's still lower. It's still low at the lower level. So there is still this study is significant to make sure we attain a better number for the Islamic banking. So the value of total financing in Islamic banking is still at a lower level that makes this study is relevant. So meaning that we need to perform this study to make sure we can increase the level of the financing, percentage of financing compared to the conventional. Okay, and then research problem. Previous studies suggest the advantages of online banking such as faster transaction, 24 hours available, and reduced cost. That is the advantage. But in the same time, we have risk and we have scammers, we have malware, we have spyware. This is risk, or we can get internet security problem or cyber security problem, as reported by Kao Aurora, Lita and Melantau, Kashaurin, and Simbish in 2012. So even though the customer faced with several risks and threats while using the online transactions, okay, but the number of customer use or the penetration number is increasing. So what is the factors that affects the intention to use or intention to adopt the online Islamic banking, especially among the university students? Okay, so this is problem again. In addition, the increasing number of scammers activities still remain issues Okay, and in this Equality Commission, okay, according to News Straits Times 2019, Malaysia is the market that receives bigger percentage of scam call in the world at 63%. Okay, according to statistics collected by Cybersecurity Malaysia website, so there is a large number of cybercrime, okay, recorded in Malaysia from 2019, okay, increasing until 2019, okay. As on December 2019, 7,774 number of fraud cases, which is scam, reported and show an evidence of cyber fraud of online banking are increasing at alarm rates. Therefore, the security of the online payment also is one of the elements that we need to take care to make sure the intention of your ability among the customer can be increased in Malaysia. Okay, this is the figures from the Cybersecurity Malaysia about the numbers of the scammers. So it is keep increasing from January in December in 2019. Okay, so the number, the type of scammers that reported by cybersecurity, all of this increasing in current situation in Malaysia. Okay, and then even there are many issues about the online system. Okay, lower penetration, lower the total asset of some banking, also the security issues. But what make the factor that customers still using the online banking services? So therefore, this study will reveal, will study or will evaluate the factors contribute to the acceptance of customer to use online banking services. Okay, we will use TAM as the model, theory of planned behavior, and UTAP model in our studies, in these studies. Okay, so my underpinning theory will be the technology acceptance model because I check on acceptance or intention to use, developed by Davis in 1989. Okay, and what is the main functions of TAM is we want to check the facility integration of technologies into organization. Discover why user or the customer accept it, like the INSA at all in 2011. We have a supporting theory. We're using TPB, theory of planned behavior, developed by Eichzen in 1991. Okay, they have attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control. And another thing is supporting theory using UTAP model that developed by Venkash in 2013. Okay, we in this study explain the user intention to use information system, okay, to cater for the security. Okay, next, the research gap. Although there are many studies investigate the acceptance or the intention to use customer to use online banking services, but study that combine these three theories is still lack of researchers. Okay, in this study we try to combine three theories. Okay, therefore this study try to indicate the gap between previous study and these studies. Okay, the study focus customer intention to use online banking for money transfer, e-commerce activity, and fund transfer among university students. So we focus among university students. University students I choose as respondents, okay, because they are the generation that have a good knowledge regarding the internet, okay, the usage of the internet. Okay, this is my conceptual research framework. So TAM is my underpinning theory. We use perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. Okay, my independent variable is customer intention to use online Islamic banking system. My supporting theory is TPB, attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control. Okay, my third theory, I use the UTAP model, which is I only select the facilitating condition as moderating variable. Okay, in the moderating variable, I use facilitating condition that has a two component. One component is system security. Second component is government support. Because in my problem statement, I said about security. I also talk about the government initiative. That's why I introduce or I focus more on facilitating condition. Okay, this is my research question. Does there is positive and significant influence of PU, PEOU, A, subjective norm, perceived behavior control toward intention to use? Then, this is question number C is, does there is a significant influence of facility condition as moderator between exogenous construct and towards the intention to use, which is endogenous construct? Okay, this is my objective of the study, to evaluate the influence of PU, to measure the influence of PEOU, to determine the influence of attitudes, subjective norm, perceived behavior control towards online intention to use online Islamic banking services. Number C is I want to determine the significant influence of fascinating condition as moderating variable between exogenous and the dependent variable or intention to use. Okay, this is my research question. The scope of study, the population of the study involves students in higher education in Malaysia. So we have 20 university in Malaysia. The unit of analysis is students who are currently pursuing their study in university that has experience using Islamic online banking in Malaysia. The sampling procedure, we use stratified random sampling. Okay, from survey that, why we select the university student is, from survey that performed by Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Communication, MCMC, in the year of 2018, there are 28.7 million internet users in Malaysia. From the amount, 30%, which is the largest in the age of 20 to 29 years. From this 30%, 12.1% are full-time students. So this means that the full-time student contribute the largest number. Therefore, the study select the university student as our unit of analysis. Okay, and then the significance of study. We want to provide a more conclusive empirical evidence using term, TPB, also UTAP model. Okay, next, the customer intention. Okay, this one, I need to delete this one. This is my first collection one, and I delete it. Okay, the limitation of the study. So this study only focus on university students. Focus only for university students in Malaysia, not in the other country. Okay, the study is not able to study all the population. That's why we use the stratified random sampling. Okay, and besides that, this study could not include all variable, but this study choose only important variable in evaluating customer interaction or acceptance toward online Islamic banking in Malaysia. Okay, as additional literature review, I include only two. As the representative, we have objective, methods, variable, and remark. As we can see in these two literature review, both of the research combine between term, okay, term 1, term 2, and term 3, and the second literature review combine between term and innovation division theory and risk theory. So they're using three theory. That's why my study using three theory also, almost imitating or following their method, but different theory and different variable, different country, and different selection of moderating variable. Okay, and then for research methodology, as conclusion, research design, I use quantitative research using deductive approach. The method of collecting data, I use questionnaire. Method for developing question is adapt and modifying from previous researchers. And sampling method, I use stratified random sampling for 20 university in Malaysia, public university. I focus more on public university. Unit of analysis is a student in public university in Malaysia. Okay, sample size, I use 385 based on Craigie and Morgan table 1970 and Head et al. 2010. Okay, data analysis method, I'm going to use structural equation modeling, and data analysis, I will use IPM, SPSS, AMOS for my data analysis. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. Pendek ya. Bro, ada question lah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sufyan. Excellent presentation.
Okay.
So other students can see that in order to write a good initial plan, you have to have underpinning theory. You have to have a strong underpinning theory, which will guide you in writing the research questions, research objectives. So this is the most important thing in quantitative research. So once you are settled with the theoretical framework, and you can defend the inclusions of variables in the theoretical framework, then your PhD thesis is set. However, if you still are not sure about your framework, then there is a problem of moving forward. So I just have two questions that
Okay.
examiners might ask you in the proposal.
Okay.
One, why stop at intention?
Okay.
And number two, why the population is university students instead of so university students here in Kedah or in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, bro.
Malaysia.
20 university in Malaysia. 20 university in
so
Malaysia.
they-
Public university in Malaysia.
They will ask you why. I think you explained a little bit, but still they will ask you why not choose the population age between 18 to 29, for example.
Okay.
Those are probably the questions that they will ask you in a proposal.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I would like to answer. We have two questions. First question, why I start intention?
Yeah.
Because in the term or TP model, we have actual usage here. Okay. And the second question is why we select the population from public university, not the private university, and why you select that population lah. Itu soalan tu, Abraham, betul kan tu kan?
Ya, betul,
Okay.
betul.
Okay, so saya answer yang senang dulu lah. Okay. The second question popular university, from our research, okay, this is MCMC security. So university student is the most, the significant numbers or the most significant group in using the online banking. And then why you select the university student? The university student has the knowledge using the digital platform, or you can say the online banking lah. Okay. And why public university? Public university is different with the private university. The public university is directly under the government, so they provide the facilities. So one of my variable, I want to check the government support. So government support should be involved with the public university. It can be the government support towards the private, but maybe the study believe that the government support element is more significant in public university. Macam itulah jawapan saya nanti. Then Prof tanya satu lagi ya, satu lagi. Kenapa dia tak ujung? Sepatutnya dalam teori ni sampai ujung. Actually, during my pilot study, to develop the actual usage and the intention to use, it very difficult. It's very difficult to differentiate between intention and the actual. It's very difficult. So I limited my scope until intention to use only. In my limitation, I will say that I just want to know the intention to use. Boleh macam tu, bro? Sesuai tak? Actually saya pun tak sure. Tapi antara sebab dia macam ni.
Betul.
Skop limitation. Skop saya lah, sebab satu, bila saya buat soalan ni, dia setiap in each variable dia 8 soalan. 8 ni dah 40. 8 dah 56 soalan dah saya buat untuk ini saja. Kalau buat lagi tu dia macam terlebih lagi lah soalan dia sebenarnya. So panel pun cakap ni terlampau banyak soalan, hari tu saya buat too ambitious, dia kata. Kena potong sini, potong sana lah.
Another option is to use adoption.
Okay.
Or is it acceptance? Acceptance, sorry.
Acceptance.
To use acceptance, which is the actual behavior.
Okay.
And eliminate intention. That's another option.
Ada option lah.
Because
apa saya fikir. Tu saya pun fikir, when I look your framework in the zakat thesis, so you have you have also intention, so you have compliant. You have, I mean that you have a mediator in your thesis, bro. So I was thinking whether I should also include the, I mean that I need to include the actual research, something like that.
So the problem with including intention and compliance or the actual behavior at the same time is there is like a strong correlation or strong multicollinearity between intention and the actual behavior, and it's kind of it can lead to a spurious regression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prof, in my framework ni kena tambah ada actual research tu. Kena tambah ada. Prof rasa macam mana?
So kalau untuk question ni saya rasa kita buat je dulu apa ni intention and also acceptance.
Okay.
Kalau tak nak guna nanti tak apalah, boleh delete je. Maybe boleh guna salah satu lah, intention, ataupun boleh guna acceptance. So saya rasa kalau acceptance lebih signifikan sebab kita nak tengok dia punya actual behavior tu. Kalau intention ni dia macam tak buat lagi actual behavior. Macam baru ada intention kan. So maybe actual behavior is more significant.
Okay. Saya faham lah. Ni saya akan fikir pasal ni lah nanti.
Tapi
tak apa. Thank you, Prof, for
untuk tujuan collect questionnaire tu, kita boleh je collect. Esok decide tak nak guna. Sebab kalau nak recollect susah pula. Kalau misalnya examiner kata, why not use intention?
Tu kan. So buat dua-dua lagi bagus. Both.
Dua-dua lagi bagus.
Okay, saya faham lah. Kita ada dua-dua lah. Okay. Okay, saya faham. Thank you for the comment.
Okay, excellent presentation. Maybe I give a chance for one question from the floor. Mr. Syed Iradat, you have any question?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Mashallah. Yeah, no, the proposal was really good and I have a very detailed explanation.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very detailed explanation. But I really appreciate, and the two questions asked by the professor was really very important. I think you should be working on that section. I think it's okay. With my little experience in research, I think it should be okay. But the two questions asked by the professor should be concentrated. Anyway, it's a good framework.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Cik Adi ada apa tanya, Cik Adi?
Tak ada, Doktor. Perfect, insyaAllah. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, Cik Suredi ada, Cik Suredi.
Today, Madam Tuti is not saying anything. She's
Madam Tuti. Ada apa soalan ke Abang Cik Suredi? Okay, tak ada ke Nana?
Tak ada. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih.
Dr. Sufyan. Okay, so for next presentation, Dr. Sufyan and I will be the what they call the assessor, and we don't allow questions from the floor to save time because we have many other presentations. All right. So next one, who's gonna present next? Anybody can go ahead. Okay, Mr. Hamza, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, you can go ahead and share your presentation.
Thank you. I enjoyed Dr. Sofiani's presentation. It was
Very good. Excellent.
Very good.
Thank
It's,
you.
it's very good. It helps me to understand mind very well, since the theories. Okay, let me share my. Yeah.
The next presenter should be ready.
Okay.
Who will go next? You can raise your hand. Okay, Bu Susi next.
Okay. I've shared my screen. Is it visible?
Yes,
Do you
yes,
see my screen?
yes,
Okay,
it is,
thank
yes,
you.
it is visible.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, Dr. Yusuf, Professor, and the entire class. This is my presentation. The slides look like Dr. Sufiani's ones, but we didn't sit together to do this. But Alhamdulillah, I'm very inspired to do something like he has done it. My topic is fintech acceptance and income zakat payment in Uganda. A case of House of Zakat and Waqf Uganda. This is an organization that has been there for the last 10 years. Organized Zakat management in Uganda is new, and this is where data could be extracted constructively. Others are in the field, other institutions are in the field, but you cannot get anything.
Can you move your slide?
Okay.
You see only the first page.
There?
Okay, okay.
Okay. So the contents are introduction, income problem statement, significance of the study, as you see. Now, first slide, introduction and background. According to PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, the auditors, the proportion of people living in poverty in Uganda is understood to be at 8 million. So there's a problem of poverty in Uganda, meaning 21.4% of our total population of about 44 million people are living in poverty. Then according to Insaya et al. 2021, a large number of studies on poverty indicated that exclusion of the poor from the financial system is a major factor contributing to inability to participate in development process, meaning that the poverty numbers you see above, 21.4%, as a result of a very big and wide exclusion process in the financial system. Therefore, Susan and Nino, 2011, they say that in 16.6% of Ugandans accessed finance through formal ways, 3.1 through semi-formal ways. These are moneylenders who are registered but are not giving the favorable financial services. Others, 62.2, were totally excluded in the financial system. However, 18.1 only had access, though at an excluding higher rate, meaning that there are banks or microfinance institutions that charge interest rate of about 30% of a loan. So this is an excluding rate, given that the population, most of the Ugandans are experiencing poverty. So for developing countries like Uganda, there are many ways that have been put forward to overcome such a predicament of poverty. According to UN Department of Economics and Social Affairs 2020, these were proposed as the remedies for averting the problem. 1, opening up economies through this inter and intra-trade between economies. 3, seeking labor-intensive growth and broad provision of social services. However, according to Haji Othman 2017, he proposed that conventional fiscal policy is an important tool in addressing the problem of poverty through regulating price stability, sustainable growth, and all others of income and full employment. Another point is, since managing fiscal policy involved managing interest rates, money supply, amongst others, interest rate fluctuations could not be met or cannot be met by the conventional financial system favorably, because it will be hindering their profit margins. Therefore, for a country like Uganda, a more socially inclined and spiritually binding form of financing intervention, especially for the poor segment of the population, is needed or was needed. Islam provides this avenue, the above socially inclined and spiritual binding form of financing. It does not only regulate, but also stimulate the economic growth and development by transferring the wealth at a rate of 2.5% from the rich to the poor. So this forms my background of the study, that the problem is there. The solutions have been dictated from conventional and other avenues. However, Islam gives us the remedy, the natural remedy, which is zakah at 2.5%. My statement of the problem, despite its centrality as both economic development tool and form of faith, third pillar of Islam, zakah collections are too small despite the potential in the country. Another, Rowan and others, 2018, where there were currently, according to their study, there were currently over 70 financial technology operating companies in the country, in Uganda. However, between 2016 to 2018, the annual fintech growth rate was 35%, meaning there was growth and there were means, the companies were there. This growth rate is expected to increase exponentially. But despite this, payment is the largest area of fintech in Uganda, with a transaction volume of 4.7 billion Uganda shillings. These include mobile money and others. There are also other factors, the key enablers for this to happen. One, favorable microenvironment. This includes demographic shifts. The millennial population forms more than 50% of our population. Rise in income, enabling policy and regulatory environment. The country has a very strong regulatory framework for fintech to operate. Three, there's infrastructure, connectivity, electricity, increase in smartphone. The facilitating conditions are all available for fintech to prosper. However, there is no zakah ordinance in the country, and there's no zakah ordinance, unincorporated body responsible for. However much there is no zakah law ordinance, unincorporated body is in place. That's the House of Zakah, and it's central to the collection. There's existence of a vibrant and financially stable Muslim population. The House of Zakah has an experience of using these systems. They have a app and all other things. Besides livestock, okay, these are what the House of Zakah does to collect zakah. But sorry, I missed a strong point in my problem statement. I was meant to mention that despite all these enabling factors, but fintech acceptance has been met with mixed feelings, despite all the factors. I will put that later. So, significance of my study: one, practically, the House of Zakah will be availed with enough data, knowledge, and insights on which policy and guidelines to improve regarding zakah collection, marketing awareness, and budgets for fintech expenditure will be improved. Fintech-related investment, as per the organization expenditure, it will be improved. Secondly, in practical sense, prior evaluation and assessment of all digital infrastructure, applications, internet providers' availability and capacity and usage will be assessed before engagement. This study's theoretical framework is built on constructs are built on three theories: one, UTAUT, term, and theory-planned behavior. The constructs are attitude, social factors, perceived ease of use and usefulness, and ending with facilitating conditions. Intention will be used as a mediating variable. So by this, I meant that the study will has the significance of the study in theoretical means is that it adds to existing studies, and perhaps it will find the gap it will fill. though I'm still in this novel stage, I can't expand more on that. This is the first study on the subject of Zaka and fintech in the country, in Uganda. I know there are many studies about this in other countries, but in a country like Uganda, it is the first study. Being it's the first organization to do this, and it hasn't been studied in as far as using fintech is concerned. My objectives are explore the intention, explore the influence of intention, attitude on intention to accept fintech, to influence of social factors on intention to accept, then analyze the influence of perceived ease of use on intention to accept fintech, and then influence of perceived usefulness on intention, and facilitating conditions. So intention is the mediating variable. These are all independent variables. So my last objective is mediating effect of intention between attitude, social factors, perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, and facilitating conditions, and then fintech acceptance. Okay, the questions are all the same. You can see here, they're all asking, they're changing from objectives to questions. Okay, this is my theoretical framework. One, my theoretical framework is based on deductive reasoning. The study will adopt and adapt its theoretical framework basing on the studies by these researchers you see below. But attitude was adopted from theory of planned behavior. Social factors is it out, perceived ease of use, theory of term, that's term. Perceived usefulness is term. Facilitating conditions is it out. Then intention is from theory of planned behavior, and this will be used to mediate the relationship between the independent variable and the actual system usage of fintech acceptance. Then my literature review now. Here I try to design it like this. Author, one first column, variable, and the findings. First, I use attitude, since it's my construct. This is from Eisen, 1991, theory of planned behavior, who defined attitude as a degree of favorableness and unfavorableness of people's feelings regarding a psychological object. This means that for someone to like or dislike an object or something or a thought, then the attitude has to be formed. Attitude helps to like or dislike something. Without it, I think nothing can do. Then Mamam and others, their study was factors influencing customers' behavior intention to adopt Islamic banking in northern Nigeria, and they used attitude. So attitude, they found attitude to be a major determinant or factor in influencing the behavior intention of customers to adopt Islamic banking. Then there's Van de Vental et al. They studied about attitude towards and usage behavior of mobile banking among its generation Y in South Africa. The study about attitude towards that attitude as a learned predisposition and let me see now. See. So they used attitude and they found it to be a major determinant in that study. Then again, Hussein 2017 analyzed the relationship of university students' intention to use e-learning in 3 antecedents, include attitude, perceived usefulness, and perceived ease of use. Findings indicated that attitude was a significant predictor towards fintech intention to use, student intention to use fintech. So another factor, another study on intention also investigated how technology acceptance model term factors and social factors determined customer purchase intention, and then attitude towards mobile app use was a full mediator of technology acceptance in that study, and so on. Then let me skip this and go for another variable, which is social influence. This is from Untitled model by Venkatesh, 2003. Social influence is defined as the degree to which an individual perceives it important that others believe he or she should use the new system. And according to Baisha and Samaria 2020, they've investigated how companies needed to identify factors influencing smartphone adoption at the bottom of the pyramid. And they found out that social influence predicts the user behavior in that study. This was to be attitude. So that was to be social influence. It was a typing error. Ledwan and Kumana, 2018, they investigated if religious, psychological, social factors and government regulation in motivating society to pay zakah, both simultaneously and partially in Indonesia. And they found social influence had a positive and a significant impact on the society motivation. So basing on these researches, I found out that social influence, all my constructs, independent variables, were in line, or they predicted what, why fintech acceptance is accepted or not accepted in the country. So, okay. Sorry, there's a perceived ease of use. This is a term construct by Davis. This is the degree to which a person believes that using particular system would enhance all his job performance. Then there is perceived usefulness. Again, it was found out to be a significant impact. It impacted the user's loyalty, intentions toward mobile banking in Turkey. It was found out by Chua, 2016. Then Aristiana, 2019, found out that the perceived usefulness was an important factor driving adoption intention of smartwatches in Indonesia in 2019. So facilitating conditions, this is one of my last independent variables. It is based on Untitled model and the first degree to which an individual believes that an organization or technical infrastructure exists to support the system use. And according to a study by Hamzat and Mabawonku, when they were investigating the factors influencing performance expectancy and facilitating conditions on use of digital library in Nigeria, now southwest Nigeria, they found that facilitating conditions as a resource available, skills, and so they realized that facilitating conditions was a major determinant in their study. Without the system availability, it's very difficult for people to adopt or to accept the system, because in the first place, there are no infrastructure that supports it. Schweib 2016 also in his study investigated the facilitating conditions impact of students' intention to use virtual lectures in Jordan. And on contrary to the above studies, they found that the students' familiarity, online support, course fee, and other factors were the major determinant of the intention to use the virtual. So on contrary, they discarded the preposition. Now, intention. This is my mediating variable. It's based on Fishburne and Eisen, according to the theory of planned behavior. This is the strength of one's intention to perform a specific behavior, intention. So in my study, I realized that all these independent variables, they work to build the intention, the right intention to use. You can have the attitude, but the attitude is not based on a strong foundation. So the foundation is the intention, the right intention. So Chow 2019, in his study, developed and empirically tested a model to predict the factors affecting students' behavior intention towards using mobile learning. And the results revealed that one, behavior intention was significantly and positively influenced by satisfaction, trust, performance acceptance, and effort expectancy. So the intention was built on the fact that they expected, the intention behavior intention was influenced by the expectation, positive expectations. So the intention was based on that. So Sereye, 2017, also carried out a study to identify the factors that influence academics' intention to pay zakah on their income in Malaysia. Using descriptive analysis, correlation, and regression modeling, results portrayed only attitude and perceived behavior control as having a significant relationship with intention to pay zakah. So, okay. Research methodology. This is my last slide. One, it's very short. Data collection. The study will use administrative questionnaires to collect the data from respondents. According to Haj Othman, the method is considered suitable when unit of analysis respondents are scattered. In my case, people using fintech, zakah payment systems, they are scattered across the globe. There are Ugandans living in diaspora, others are living elsewhere. So getting them to be questionnaires will be easy to send to them and then collect the data. Unit of analysis, the unit of analysis refers to subject that is being studied in the research. The unit of analysis for the study is individuals who are income zakat payers in Uganda and at House of Zakat. Meaning in Uganda, they will be here, and institutionally, I will study everyone, Ugandan, by the way, from across the globe. We have few international or non-Ugandans using fintech systems. Basically, it's used by Ugandans in the diaspora. So population and sampling, the population of the study will be all Ugandan Muslims eligible to pay zakah. However, this study selects only income zakat payers. So, so far, this is what I managed to put together. And I'll be grateful for the input and corrections and ideas to incorporate in my study. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hamzah. Very excellent presentation. Dr. Sufyan, you want to go first?
Prof dulu kot, Prof. I think you can go first, then I will support. You are underpinning theory. I'm supporting theory.
Okay. Let's look at the theoretical framework.
Yeah.
Okay. So because you use TPB, TAM, and UTAUT, there are some similar variables that you use with other students, but I think
Yes.
it should be all right. We look at the whole framework. As long as there is no exact framework used. All right. Some studies use facilitating conditions as moderating variables, right? So, and you'll be asked why you use facilitating conditions as the independent variable. That's the question that I think you'll be asked in the proposal defense. And why there is no moderating variable. That one might be asked also. As long as you can justify, it's okay. And then look at the last slide. Okay, population and sampling. The population includes all Ugandan Muslims eligible to pay zakat in Uganda. Do you have the total number of Muslims eligible to pay zakat in Uganda? If you have, then it's excellent.
We don't have official numbers.
because later
Official
on,
numbers.
if you have the total number of Muslims eligible to pay zakat, or it is settled. It's settled to because we have to start with population, and then from that population we can determine the sample size and the sampling technique. So yeah, try to get the number of Muslims eligible to pay zakat in Uganda. Okay, so for the framework, that's all my question.
But there's something here. Can I ask also?
Sure, go ahead.
Because in the framework, there's a system dependent variable, the dependent variable, actual system usage and fintech acceptance. When you look at term model, it has the actual system usage. And my research is fintech acceptance. So when I was trying to look for literature on fintech acceptance, particularly, you rarely see the literature, but on actual system usage, you see it's there. So I wanted to ask, can my title go read actual system usage and instead of fintech acceptance, or it's okay, I can leave like that?
You have to choose. So there are two keywords here. One is usage. The other one is acceptance.
Acceptance.
So you have to choose. It's very important. The term that you use, is it usage or is it acceptance? So which term you want to use depends on your independent variables. So your dependent variables are attitude, social factors, perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, facilitating conditions. If it's more on term, then you should use acceptance.
Okay.
If it's more towards UTAUT, what's the DV for UTAUT, Dr. Sufyan? UTAUT use adoption, I think. I have to check. So I think it's all right if you use the word acceptance.
Okay.
What do you think, Dr. Sofyan? Usage or acceptance?
Prof, there is some opinion from the experts say that if we need to follow the underpinning theory. So, Mr. Hamdan, what is your underpinning theory? You have three theories. You need to select only one as your main theory, but we call it underpinning theory. What is your underpinning theory?
It's more of UTAUT. UTAUT is the core theory.
If you use UTAUT model, you should include all variable of UTAUT. That is your underpinning theory. But in your slide, you did not include all the UTAUT variable. It cannot be your underpinning theory. Underpinning theory means your base. Okay? Your base.
Yeah, I think my base is okay.
So what is your
it
base?
Means term. It has to be term because it has three.
Almost like me, term.
It has three
okay?
constructs. Yeah.
I would like to say something if
you want to use term or TVB? I already take term, no?
I think term, because term has perceived
Okay.
usefulness, ease of use, and
so it depends on you, but you need to select the underpinning theory. Why you need to select underpinning theory? That theory you cannot change. That is your basic. If you change your basics, then the reviewer will ask why you change your basics, something like your underpinning theory is your basics. Okay, but I can see you can use term actually in your theoretical field. You use term Similar like me. Okay. So your underpinning theory, you want to use sum or what?
I think it out was it had more. It is more with on the ground. If you look at the factors of it out, they tell the story better. But I think term goes with the final, the end result. Term dictates the end results in terms of acceptance.
Yes. Because when you use acceptance, you should use technology acceptance model, because they will ask you why you use term. So you can say that my title is acceptance. That's why I use term. You understand my meaning? If not, if you talk model, then they will ask why you talk model and where the keyword in your title. You can show me your title. Title. Now I'm not sure, because three experts already comment my question answer. So many improvement I need to make. Okay, can you show me your title? Your title. Show me your title.
My title.
Where is your
Let me
title?
share.
Title. Okay. So here you have fintech acceptance and income zakat payment. In Uganda. What you mean here? In case of House of Zakat and Wakaf Uganda, it's almost similar with our supervisor thesis, but I think your study is a little bit different with our supervisor. Okay. For example, you said fintech acceptance and income zakat, and mean there is two things. Two things. So which one? Fintech acceptance or income zakat payment? Which one?
It's fintech acceptance.
So if you say fintech acceptance, so stick to fintech acceptance in your title. And then your underpinning theory, you can use term theory or acceptance model, or you talk which one. It should be in line. Ini what the comment by my panel during my question. So you should be in line. If you acceptance in your theoretical should be accepted. You should ada acceptance. Should acceptance. Okay. And in your title you have two things: acceptance and income zakat payment. What you want to do actually?
I'm studying acceptance, fintech acceptance.
So if you acceptance, only one, not two. If two PhD, only one.
Two PhD. So income zakat payment is another.
You can rephrase like acceptance of income zakat using fintech, something like that. You can rephrase, but you cannot use n. N it's become two variable, two dependent variable.
Okay, read again, Dr. Sufyan.
No, just my.
Yeah, I'm just writing down.
You need to ask our professor.
I know, but first rephrase the acceptance of.
Yeah, no. Probably bagi cadangan, bro. Kan macam mana? Dia macam ada dua, dia ada fintech and income zakat, macam ada dua kan?
Yeah. So maybe you can, the tentative title is, for example, exploring the determinants of fintech acceptance.
Four boleh juga, four kan? Four off ke? But not n.
Acceptance of income zakat payment in Uganda.
Off okay. But not n.
Exploring the determinants of income zakat.
Exploring the determinants of fintech acceptance of income zakat payment in Uganda.
Good suggestion from our supervisor.
And a case of House of Zakat and Wakaf Uganda, no need.
Yes, I think it's better. We need to delete it. Because this is only for our supervisor study, because our supervisor study in Kedah. I mean, in Malaysia, only one state named Kedah. So, but Uganda mean one country, right? One country in Uganda.
Yeah. One country.
Because
so I think no need. I think.
Yeah, no need.
But I'm not your panel. I know it's weather, but just suggestion.
But it's good, you know. When you learn something, it's It's very
Yeah.
important. Now I
Yeah.
can see, I understood your addition.
Yeah.
Yes.
This mean that your title and your framework should be in line. If you
Okay.
accepted, then use accepted.
Mm,
Okay. If not,
yeah.
they will ask were you accepted and your theoretical framework not accepted. They will ask again, or then it become major, something like that.
Okay.
It's not in colloquium. Colloquium is okay, but in proposal defense, we're preparing for proposal defense. I think. You already finished colloquium 1 or not, Mr. Hamza?
Yeah, I finished colloquium.
Oh, so you accept in my condition. And then in your problem statement, Mr. Hamza, problem statement.
Okay.
Problem statement.
Statement.
Okay. What is the zakat collection in the Uganda? We want to show it is a problem. You must show it's problem.
Mm,
Problem. Zakat collection too small. Like you say it's
okay.
too small. How small is
Mm.
small? You say it's too small, right?
Yeah,
In your
too
first,
small.
too small. How small?
Too small, how small?
How small? They always
Yeah.
they will, if you put any sentence or any claim, you need to support with data. If not, they will
Okay.
ask you where you got this. How you say it's small.
Mm,
Okay, so in my presentation, I said about how many percentage, so see the improvement of the room for improvement. So you can say, and then you want to use fintech. When you use fintech, you should have data also about fintech. Okay.
okay.
So where is your fintech data?
Fintech data is in a word form. I didn't have summarized in graphical
Okay,
form.
maybe you can think about it. So you need to strengthen your problem with data. If not, the panel say again, we say that your claim is not support by not strong, something they will say like that.
Mm,
But it depends on the panel, not all panel will say like that. Okay.
okay.
And then you say your underpinning theory, you need to select your underpinning theory. Okay. What is your underpinning theory? And then about your respondent. The last page, I think. Mr. Hamza, could you show the last page?
Okay.
Last page. Yeah. So your population use the Uganda Muslim, all the Muslim, right?
Yeah.
But all the Muslim in Uganda did not have the like laptop or the smartphone, right?
Yeah, sure.
So how they going to use fintech? Do you understand my question or not? You choose population, but the population did not have any computer or the laptop. So how you say that is the population?
I used eligible to pay zakat.
Yeah. But your theoretical framework about the fintech.
Yeah.
These two things, I mean zakat and fintech. So you need to make sure your population have the both of the elements. Mean that they pay zakat and they have the fintech, like the equipment of the fintech lah. If not, they only can pay zakat use manual. So in your question, they will give a not significant answer after this. Do you understand my question or not?
Yeah, I understand because here I didn't pick it. The population is around 1,700 here.
Yeah,
I didn't,
you should
I
include the
here.
Muslim that have the that have the gadget or the internet,
they are
something like that.
17,547.
Maybe you can.
I have it in the study, but I didn't include in the presentation.
Because this is almost similar to our supervisor thesis. Almost similar, right? Similar, almost similar.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you need to insert more additional explanations, okay, population, and then I think that's all for me. Okay.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
The
Thank you,
population
Professor
of the
Ken.
study, like I mentioned before, you have to be able to get the number. And my suggestion is to limit according to the age. Maybe it's 18 to 29, for example. the age where they are literate. I'm not sure. You can find some range of
Or
age.
literacy rate.
Yeah, I think.
Some of my student, Prof, we use government servant because government servant has income, right? So they can buy the internet plan. Some of my students do on the government servant. So good to justify that government servants have knowledge, have wages or salary to make sure they can afford to pay zakat and afford to buy the gadget. Contoh lah, contoh. Just contoh.
What do you think, Mr. Hamza? You can choose, for example, population of this study consists of public or government servants, so that you can concentrate on those having the knowledge, having the tools to use the fintech.
I think it's important to use government servants, because even here it's universal. They have the means. Yes.
So maybe you can think about changing the population instead of the whole Muslims.
Yeah.
You have the data or not on government servants in Uganda? The
Yeah, we can
Muslim,
get
of course,
the data.
Muslim government servants.
Now, getting Muslims out of the general servants, it would be, but it's traceable. You can get the data.
It's quite difficult to get.
Difficult, but yeah, you can try and get them, but the number will be less.
You can get from Department of Statistics in your country.
Yeah, but the department shows the whole but number, but the Muslims from that number it will.
Okay. You can get from,
but
I also
can,
get from statistical department in Malaysia. I also send their email or I make a letter to get the numbers like you also. Okay.
But I will look for, I can get.
That's one of the options.
Yes, I will get.
Because government servants should have the minimum tools, like they should have handset at least. They should have the laptop. Usually they have. So if you do not restrict, there might be some Muslims who do not have access to the fintech. Okay, you think about that. Once you decide your population, make sure you have the number.
Okay.
From the number, we can do the sampling. Without the numbering, we have to resort to non-probability sampling, which is not preferred. I think I prefer probability sampling, such as a stratified sampling, because we can easily make the statistical inference. With non-probability sampling, actually statistical inference is limited. All right. And another thing I would suggest, you use age as the moderating variable. Look at the framework. Can you show the framework?
Yeah.
Dr. Sifan, what do you think? For fintech, I think age is quite an important factor. and could be used as a moderating variable here to make it more interesting and more more rich. Age as the moderating variable here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think age can be used as the moderator, but the standard you use age, gender, income, that is our standard. We call it variable, a variable moderator.
Right.
But my one, I use the construct moderator. Yang tadi tu variable, nama dia variable, age is
Yeah,
variable.
variable moderator, right?
Variable moderator. Saya punya construct moderator.
So among the variable moderator, we can choose one, for example, age or gender. But in the case of fintech, I think age is quite significant. I'm not sure about gender. Gender, I'm not sure. Just my suggestion to make it more interesting.
So gender, I mean age, will it, what should I use? Moderate
Mr. Hamza, you're going to have your demographic variable, right? Demographic variable.
Profile. Demographic
profile.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, in demographic profile, you have gender, male or female, income, age, their localities. So whether this demographic profile influence or moderates the IV towards your mediating variable.
Sure, it has. It has to. In my questionnaires, it's there.
Yes, you already have in demographic variable. Just do in your framework and during your analysis, you need to be careful about that things, I think.
Okay, so should it moderate the constructs of without alone or the whole independent variables?
Number one, for variable moderator, gender, age, sometimes they use income, sometimes they use experience and other things. You can choose one, I think. For example, in this case, age maybe. You don't have to use all other variables. It depends on you, because if you choose more than one variable as your moderator, I think that'd be too much.
Okay.
That'd be too much. Just my thought. Age would be an interesting and significant moderating variable.
Okay. Prof, pukul 11 lah. Takut tak habis kita nanti.
Okay.
Next.
Prof.
Okay.
It means the objective, I have to include the one objective of age.
Yeah. Think about it. Think about it first. Okay, whether this is enough or not. If you think it's enough, then it's okay. But if you think
no, it's not enough.
If you think like some examiner might ask about age, because of fintech, certain age might. I'm not sure. What do you think? For fintech,
I'm sure, because there's a story I tell my people here that when I traveled to Malaysia for the first time, I wanted to go to Ampang, Ampang, Jalan Ampang in Kuala Lumpur. And I boarded a taxi, but the driver was above 70 years, I think. So he knew how to use Google Map, the directions. And in my country, I think a 45-year-old cannot even use it. You see, he cannot use it. So it was interesting that it was a rare case to find an old man to do that. But in Uganda, you can't find a 50-year-old cannot even attempt to use one. You see? So in Uganda, I think age is a determinant factor. They think this is for young people who risk their money in online
in Malaysia, the government servant usually is between 18 to 60 years old. 18, I think, from 18 to 60 years old. So maybe we can test whether the age moderates the relationship. Think about it. Then we discuss, inshallah.
Okay.
Inshallah. Thank you, Mr. Hamza. A very good, excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And next, we invite Bu Susi.
Let me
And
go
who
for
is next?
Subuhi. Let me press Subuhi now and then come back.
Who is next after Bu Susi?
Saya ada Suraidi.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Bu Susi.
Okay, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam, Ibu Susi.
Thank you for the opportunity. My topic is optimization of cash wakaf development through Sharia life insurance. For me, this topic is very interesting because when we talk about wakaf, it is not only related to Sharia and our relation with Allah, but it is also help developing Sharia economic. Cash wakaf right now become a hot issue in Indonesia because not only it is more flexible, but cash wakaf is also needed to develop huge unproductive wakaf land to be more productive. Okay, let me first. I will be cover. This is the problem introduction, problem statement, research development. And I go to chapter 1, which is introduction. Okay, wakaf is defined as giving the ownership of our properties back to Allah Almighty for the sake of ummah community. The value of wakaf is not allowed to be decreased, to be sold or inherited. Wakaf is one of special deeds which differ it from other kind of deed such as prayer, zakat, fasting, pilgrimage, while other deeds reward is cut after a person dies. Wakaf reward is continuous. This makes it similar in the concept of passive income in our daily. So we said that wakaf as a passive pahala. Okay. Rasulullah SAW said, when a person dies, all his deeds are cut off except for 3 things: Sodaqah Jariyah, useful knowledge, and pious children who pray for him. Okay, the potential wakaf in Indonesia, we know Indonesia is a huge country. Indonesia has a great amount of unproductive wakaf land in about 340, almost 40,000 locations. And the total area of wakaf land is about 53,000 hectares, this is a very big. And Indonesian Muslim population, the number of Indonesian Muslim population has reached 229.6 million, which is about 87% of the total of population, of citizen. This is a global religious future. With that potential, we know people in Indonesia, most of them know only a traditional wakaf, which is mosque, school, and grave. And now, what is cash wakaf? Cash wakaf is defined as wakaf conducted by an individual, a group of people, organization, or legal entities in form of cash or valuable securities. It is considered as a new kind of wakaf. Even though the idea is still debatable, it is generally accepted, and based on Islamic law, it is considered jawaz or acceptable. Okay. Now the problem statement. When we look at in potential of Indonesia, number one, we can see here the country with the largest number of Muslim in the world, one of the most generous countries in the world. The potential of cash wakaf in Indonesia reached about 180 trillion. But we know that wakaf accumulation cash we receive only through cash is only 580 billion, and also the number of nazir, we have a youth 264. This is the last, I think now is increasing, it's almost 300. And amount of LKS PBU in Indonesia is a bank, lembaga keuangan syariah penerima wakaf uang, is about 23 syariah bank. Now is become merger, become one, which is BSI, Bank Syariah Indonesia. And literacy in Indonesia is very low. Literacy index wakaf 2002 is 50.8. Insurance creating general welfare insurance could also give comfort and safety for the whole family since the unpredictable future risks and dangers. Quran Surah Al-Imran verse 145, where Allah Almighty said, "And it is not possible for one to die except by permission of Allah at the great determination." My research questions: does attitude significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance? Does subjective norm significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance? Does perceived behavior control significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance? Does perceived usefulness significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance? Does perceived ease of use significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance? And number 6, what is the effective and optimal method to raise the wakaf fund accumulation through Sharia life insurance based on the problem state in the background of study? Research objective. The general objective of this study is to create a new and optimal method to raise the number of wakif and wakaf fund accumulation through Sharia life insurance in Indonesia, and specific, explaining whether attitudes significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance, analyzing whether subject norm significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance, and determining whether perceived behavioral control significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance, discovering whether perceived usefulness significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance, and settling whether perceived ease of use significantly affect the intention of doing cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance. And number 6, finding the effective and optimal method to raise the wakaf fund accumulation. A scope of study. There are two significant in this study, which are theoretical and practical. Those significant are expected to be beneficial for Sharia economic development in Indonesia. Okay, significant, theoretical. This study is expected to acknowledge more people regarding wakaf through Sharia life insurance. This idea is considered new for wakaf instrument. Practical significant. From this study, the new method is expected to be a new component and instrument to do wakaf in easier way and more optimal. And with this study, the author hoped to increase the number of wakif and fund accumulation through Sharia product. Okay. Contribution of the study, contribution to method, creating and applying the new method in optimizing the wakaf fund accumulation, which will make wakaf easier to every level of a society in Indonesia. Because we know that people in Indonesia, most of them know that to do wakaf need to be wealthy first. Okay, number two, contribution to knowledge, increasing the knowledge of people regarding Sharia economic, especially wakaf. This study can contribute to be a reference in national and global Sharia economy. Contribution to policy and authority as a recommendation for the government and lawmaker to create policy and regulation regarding wakaf, especially wakaf through Sharia life insurance in Indonesia. Contribution to Muslim community, offering a new, easier, and more convenient product and method for Muslim community in every social and economic levels to do wakaf. Thus, it is expected to help all part in the Muslim community to contribute in expansion of its country Sharia economic. Okay. Sorry, just a second. Limitation of the study. There are several limitations of this study, including the use of single insurance company as an object of study, and the use of Google Form for questionnaire as the method of obtaining data due to COVID-19 pandemic. This is some of the limitation that I face. Okay, chapter number 2 is literature review. Wakaf definition. Wakaf is defined as holding and limiting someone's properties to be managed and used for a good purpose of ummah as an act of giving back to others. Thus, the ownership of wakaf properties no longer belong to the wakif. As explained in the government law number 41 year 2004, wakaf is an act of wakif to divide and or hand over part of his or her properties to be benefit for a certain period of time as a form of good deeds and or helping general welfare. Wakaf history, wakaf was first done by Umar bin Khattab, which gave a piece of his land in Khaybar. Other sources said that the first person to do wakaf is Prophet Muhammad, where he gave his permission to build Quba mosque in his land. Abu Talha gave his garden for wakaf, which was a Biraha garden. This act was followed by several other people. And this is a few reference wakaf. And I continue with the wakaf through Sharia life insurance. Wakaf through Sharia life insurance, there is two kinds. Number one is testament wakaf. Wakaf planning, which legally will part of asset ownership. In this case, is a 45% of total sum insured maximum. And investment wakaf, wakaf using investment fund, which is paid by wakif to the insurance company every the wakif pay the premium or tabarruk. Sharia legal. The principle of contract is Sharia insurance is takaful, which suit Quran in Surah Al-Maidah verse 2. And corporate will one another in virtuous conduct and conscience, and do not cooperate with one another in sin and hostility, and fear God. God is severe in punishment. Quran Surat Al-Maidah verse 2. Okay. This is a fatwa made by Council Sharia Council of Indonesia. Okay, number one is provision of wakaf insurance benefit. The parties chosen to receive insurance benefit declare a binding plaque, give the benefit for wakaf. Number two, the maximum amount of benefit could be given for wakaf is 45% of the total sum insured. Every candidate of beneficiary chosen or the substitute declares their agreement and deals. Wakaf contract is plaque, which is done after the insurance participant is deceased, is considered to be the right of the party chosen previously or substitute. This is the fatwa Majelis Ulama Indonesia, which is Sharia Council of the Indonesian Ulama. Investment benefit is allowed to be given to wakaf by insurance participant. The acceptable amount of investment benefit to be given for wakaf is 1/3 of totally wealth unless it is agreed by all of the beneficiary. Provision ujrah in the first year is maximum 45% of regular contribution. Ujrah accumulation in the following year is a maximum 50% of regular contribution. Theory of planned behavior, a conceptual framework which aims to explain the determine of a certain behavior. Central factor of an individual's behavior is that the behavior itself is influenced by the intention toward the behavior. The intention to do something is affected by these three components, which is attitude, subject norm, perceived behavioral control. The explanation will be in chapter 3. Technological acceptance model, a method to predict and explain how a technology user receive and use tools relate to the user's job. In time, the user's acceptance to use a tool is influenced by two factors as mentioned below. Number one is a perceived usefulness, and second is perceived ease of use. And the explanation will be in chapter 3. Compliant determination. Compliant determination is the awareness of the law usefulness or applicable previous provision, which result in a form of individual loyalty to values imposed in living together, and is manifested in the form of behavior that is actually obedient to the values themselves. Moderating variable are variable which influence the nature or the direction of relationship among variables, the probability of positive or negative nature or the direction or relationship among independent and dependent variables depend depend on the moderating variables. Those moderating variables is also called contingency variables. Gap in the literature. Based on previous studies, authors only mention about the lack of knowledge regarding the definition and the potency of productive wakaf, but some other aspect contributing to the low wakaf fund accumulation is not yet stated. The author of this study aimed to not only find the contributing factor, but also find an effective and optimal method in doing wakaf in the future. The author hopes to increase the number of wakif along with the fund accumulation in Indonesia. Okay, theoretical framework and research hypothesis. Okay, just a moment, please. Okay, there are two theories used in this study. First is theoretical theory of plant behavior, which is consists of attitude, subject, norm, and perceived behavioral control. The second theory is technological acceptance model, which consists of perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. These components are believed to influence the intention of someone to do a certain behavior. In this case, is someone's intention to do wakaf. Attitude is someone feeling or thinking about someone or something. Subjective norm refer to the belief that an important group of people or person will approve and support a particular behavior, while perceived behavioral control is the perception of the difficulty of enacting a behavior. These three components are also influenced by some other aspects, such as socioculture, education, experience, values, stereotype, income, age, and gender, knowledge, and etc. And perceived usefulness is the perception of users where they believe that using certain technologies can improve the performance of their work, while perceived ease of use is the degree to which a person believes that using a particular system would be free of effort. Hypothesis development. H1, attitude significantly influence an individual intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. H2, a subject norm significantly influence an individual intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. And H3, perceived behavior control significantly influence an individual intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. And H4, perceived usefulness significantly influence an individual's intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. H5, perceived ease to use significantly influence an individual intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. And then H6, the new method of wakaf significantly influence an individual's intention to do wakaf through Sharia life insurance. Okay. Data analysis, an analytical method used by author is a strength, a weakness, opportunity, and threat. This tool is applied to give a picture of the actual and future condition which influence the process of achieving the aim of this study, optimize the wakaf fund accumulation through Sharia life insurance. And the data, the author collects the data with questionnaires using Google Form as the instrument. And the sampling method is random sampling. I think that's all I I present my presentation. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone. And I'm waiting for the suggestion and advice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Susi. Can you show the title? Can you share again and show the title?
Yes, Prof.
So my first question is, why do you choose? So the first thing, you choose a cash walk-off, right?
Yes.
Then why you choose a cash walk-off in Sharia life insurance? These are two big topics. One is cash walk-off. The other one is Sharia life insurance. Why do you choose Sharia life insurance instead of just a cash walk-off?
Okay. Okay, Prof. Thanks for the question, and I try to answer. Why a cash wakaf? In my opinion, cash wakaf is a more is a big because cash wakaf also in Indonesia right now there is a several component of cash wakaf including Sharia like wakaf through Sharia life insurance, and another one is wakaf link suku. So I choose why I choose cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance because this one is I think is more optimal and more small, I think, rather than only talk about cash wakaf, because as I said, cash wakaf is there is few when we talk a few component instrument of cash wakaf.
Yes, cash wakaf is huge. It can, like you mentioned, it has great potentials.
Yes.
And then suddenly you limit to Sharia life insurance because if you want to, so so suddenly it becomes very limited and very restricted. Now your topic suddenly becomes Sharia life insurance, right? As a product. Sharia life insurance is a product. And then there are some Sharia life insurance that offer the subscribers or the donors to the option of a cash walk-off, right?
Yes.
If you choose this topic, your topic is actually Sharia life insurance, which has the option of cash walk-off, which is very specific, and yeah. So if you choose this topic, you should focus more on Sharia life insurance. So the topic is more on Sharia life insurance, which gives the options of cash walk-off. I'm not sure in Indonesia about the potentials of Sharia life insurance with the cash walk-off option. This is just a product of Sharia life insurance. There are many other products, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you think again whether you want to choose a cash walk-off in general or Sharia life insurance. All right.
I agree with you, Prof. For example, in this title, for quantitative analysis using quotient, we never use optimization. Saya tak pernah jumpa. We never saw using word of optimization. Optimization we use, but it is in more on the science, quantitative. The background Ibu Susi quantitative analysis.
Yes.
Quantitative.
Yeah, quantitative, yes.
Bukan, maksud saya master Ibu Susi dulu buat pasal actual sciences ke apa? What is your master? Your
Oh,
background
okay.
master.
In the finance.
That's why you're in finance. Okay. Now, when you go for the quantitative, now you will focus more on management. Okay. So contoh macam ni, optimization kita tak guna perkataan optimization ni. We do not use optimization in quantitative in management or in finance management in finance. And then in your title you have two. You want to use cash wakaf or syariah life insurance? Dia ada dua. Dia pilih salah satu je, jangan ambil dua-dua. Tadi kata life insurance ataupun takaful kan, tapi dalam your research problem, you talk about the wakaf. But you want to go for the life insurance, but you talk about the wakaf, bukan zakat wakaf, you talk about the land wakaf. But your research cash wakaf, but you give data about the land wakaf. So the problem is not in line with your title. Maksudnya your title is not clear. Macam optimization kita tak guna. And then you have two, cash wakaf and syariah life insurance. We have two big study here. Two different things. So which one Ibu Susi want to use? Which one?
Cash wakaf. Okay, Dr. Sofyan, in my opinion, if my topic cash wakaf is more huge, so why I choose optimization of cash wakaf development through Sharia life insurance, because if we choose only Sharia cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance is more specific. It's more specific. So when we more specific, we can study deep in that area.
Okay, but the danger is when your participant is only one company, right? Only one company, your participant, your respondent. So that is the danger.
Okay.
So because you make very specific, so it become only one company will produce a Sharia life insurance. My suggestion is whether you want to go for takaful or Sharia life insurance or cash wakaf. It's different thing. One is takaful, one is wakaf. Difference.
Okay.
You can choose which one. But from
probably goes to cash wakaf.
Okay, but if you go cash wakaf, you cannot say about the land wakaf. Land wakaf and cash wakaf is different things.
Land wakaf is actually is the background problem statement, which is in Indonesia there is so many is huge land wakaf need to be productive, but to do a productive those land wakaf need a cash wakaf. Maybe that's my explanation. So that's why we go to why I study cash wakaf, because there is another one problem is because land wakaf in Indonesia is a two type. Number one is cash opportunity. Number second also we have to do to make a productive. That's why we need a cash wakaf.
Okay. So maybe you can include in your problem statement about your your explanation, because you explain about the land, and cash wakaf is a little bit different. Okay. So in your theoretical framework, you use TAM, right? Technology accepted model.
Yes.
What is definition of TAM? You know, right? TAM.
Just a second, I can go.
Definition of TAM. Yeah.
Basis.
The term use the technology, right?
Yes.
In cash wakaf, do you have technology or not?
Yes.
Yes. The element of technology in cash wakaf.
Teknologinya itu modelnya.
Do you have the element of technology in the cash wakaf?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't. Oh, okay.
So what I want to say is, you use TPB, it's okay, I think it's appropriate, but technology accepted model is not appropriate. is for technology, but in cash wakaf, no technology. You didn't say about anything but technology. Like Mr. Hamzah has talked about fintech. Yes, time is good. But in your cash wakaf, there is no technology, but you put also time. Okay, time is about technology.
Some of cash wakaf, they, I mean,
They use fintech also.
they also use fintech, and maybe also right now we can just click and then we pay wakaf, not have to give money, but we can use bank and method, an analogical method also, right?
So if you talk fintech, so your title is different now. Your title become different. Okay, so it's different. So please be careful in selection of theory, selection of topics, and selection of wherever. You need to very careful because it's interrelated. And then
Yes.
your respondent only one company, I think it's not sufficient. Respondent in one company, right?
No, it's actually my respondent is we give a questionnaire to people is by Google form, but company is only I just to support data.
Usually we do not use only one company. We don't use,
Okay,
like your limitation. Can you show me your limitation?
Okay.
Limitation. So many about cash wakaf, and then suddenly you talk about the takaful, kan? Okay, here, including use of a single insurance company. Yeah, I think for PhD level, it's not up to par. You cannot use only one single insurance company. You cannot use only one company respondent. For master, it's okay. Master is okay.
Yeah.
But untuk for PhD, no, you cannot use it. For PhD study, it should be a random and representative. Ya, ada dua ni. Maksudnya, representative for Malaysia, I need to select all the university. Okay. For like Mr. Hamzah, I select all the government servant in Uganda. For you, if you want to select representative, all Indonesia, kind of thing. Not only on one insurance company, not only one. Master level is okay, I think. So you need to adjust your title, adjust your selection of theory, where you start, adjust your respondent, and SWOT analysis. We do not use SWOT analysis. Okay, SWOT analysis. You have SWOT analysis, right? SWOT analysis. Ibu Susi.
Yeah.
SWOT analysis itu nak buat apa? For what purpose SWOT analysis? We use in strategic management, right? SWOT analysis. So why you want to use SWOT here?
To inform that in Indonesia, this is a condition in Indonesia, wakaf in Indonesia. So I try to explain by data analysis using SWOT.
Okay. Usually for quantitative, we do not use SWOT. We use regression analysis, we use t-test, statistical finding. SWOT analysis we use for strategic management. So we do not use SWOT. Okay. Okay. I think that's all for me. Producer boleh continue. Sorry, interrupt, producer.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sufyan. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sofyan.
So again, let's look at the title. I think I understand what you're trying to do here. You are trying to look at the cash wakaf, but focus on Sharia life insurance. So this is a product which uses two concepts: life insurance, Sharia life insurance, and cash wakaf. So I'm worried. Like Dr. Sufyan said, I'm worried if this is enough or not for PhD. You just focus on Sharia life insurance. I think it's better you focus on cash wakaf in general, right? Because cash wakaf there are many models of cash walk-off. We have, for example, full-fledged walk-off model, like a Vakif Bank in Turkey. We have Islamic Bank walk-off windows, such as CIMB Bank in Malaysia. You know, the Sharia Bank with walk-off windows, and cash walk-off, of course, can be combined with Sharia life insurance, cash walk-off with sukuk, right? So I think you choose Sharia life insurance. All right. So I'm still not sure which one you should focus. Try to find cash walk-off that has the most potential in Indonesia. Is it Sharia life insurance or some other types of cash walk-off in Indonesia? What do you think? Because I'm not familiar with the situation in Indonesia. In Malaysia, Sharia life insurance and cash walk-off is still small, but it has potential, but it is still very small. Only certain companies offer Sharia life insurance that has the option of cash walk-off. So, Bu Susi, in Indonesia, what is the type of cash walk-off that has the most potential, for example?
In Indonesia, we talking about cash wakaf, Prof. In Indonesia, still very low. I mean, the perspective of people here. Also, even if we talk about cash wakaf by cash, also very low. We need to be more educative, informal. It need to be socialization. Yeah. And why I choose through Sharia life insurance, because then the client from the company, they have potential to link to a wakaf product. So that's why I choose this one. And also because people here in Indonesia, the perception is about wakaf is need to be wealthy first, then can do wakaf. But with life insurance, of even small money regularly, they can do wakaf. So this is, I think, one of the potential. Wakaf link suku also very still very small numbers of people know about link suku. So that's why I also the idea come from that. If we talk about cash wakaf through Sharia life insurance, because using the sum insured, so the amount must be big, right? So this is can increase the accumulation of cash wakaf in Indonesia. And here in Indonesia, there is one or a few of Nazir, which is also they have what is that, kerjasama with a life insurance company. So the life insurance company will kerjasama, and the wakif choose one of the Nazir. And last year, I think I also see the numbers, accumulation wakaf from life insurance from one Nazir is quite okay, quite good. I mean, that's where the idea come from that. Yes, Prof.
You can highlight and show the importance of cash walk-off through Sharia life insurance if you want to stick with this, you have to show how many companies offer Sharia life insurance through that has the option of cash walk-off, because not all Sharia life insurance product offer the option of cash walk-off, right? So you have to have those information in Indonesia.
Yes, Prof.
Many more information that you need to include. All right. So let's go to the theoretical framework.
Okay.
I think you should combine with DIT, diffusion innovation theory, instead of TAM, because if you stick to this topic, it's a cash walk-off combined with life insurance, right? So it's more like innovation to me. So the more suitable model is DIT. So try to combine.
DIT.
So I think your underpinning theory should be DIT, diffusion innovation theory, and not TPB,
Okay.
and not TAM.
Okay.
But I'm still worried if you cannot establish the importance of cash walk-off in a Sharia life insurance. I'm not sure in Indonesia, but you really must show that number one, the what is it, the choice or the adoption of cash walk-off in Sharia life insurance is still low, right? What is the potential? How many companies offer this type of product? I'm sure you have more information that
Yes.
you have not written here. So at PhD level, we want to see, number one, the problem is established clearly, the problem regarding the Sharia life insurance that has the option of cash walk-off. Why this product is introduced, because in Malaysia, it has been introduced for quite some times, but people simply have not been aware of this type of product, right? And I'm sure there are the significance of development of cash walk-off using this product of Sharia life takaful. Here Sharia life insurance. Here we call takaful hayat. In Malaysia we call takaful hayat, Sharia life insurance. Yeah, it has some they give the option of donors to contribute cash walk-off to their spouse, right, or to specific beneficiaries. So we have option, right? So you need to really emphasize here the importance. Okay, and then the framework, try to use DIT, try to study DIT. So maybe my suggestion is use DIT as in the underpinning theory, and then this TPB and TAM, as the complementary theory. Yeah, I think it's more of an innovation and not of a technology. This product is more of an innovation. I think it's okay if you want to use. Actually, it's a product that combines the concept of takaful and cash walk-off. Only problem is we don't see the importance of it yet because you have not written about the importance and the significance of this type of product. If you cannot establish that, I'm worried the examiner will say, "Oh, it's not, it doesn't reach the level of PhD." If, for example, if you choose only one company, then you cannot. It has to be something, how do you say, Dr. Sufyan? It has to be something of great importance, something of novelty. So maybe you could improve it, inshallah.
Okay. Yes, Prof. If there is two, according to the suggestion, there is two. Either I change my topic or I change my theoretical, right? If I choose the topic, but I still use cash wakaf, any advice, Prof?
So if you just want to stick to cash walk-off, you can look at what type of cash walk-off that has helped the most to to society. There are many type of cash walk-off, right? For example, in Malaysia, the wakaf institutions, in Malaysia, for example, in Malaysia we have Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia, okay, that has introduced the so-called cash wakaf, where people can simply give cash wakaf online, right? Online. When you use online, then it is suddenly you can use technology acceptance model, right? So
Yes.
we have here, I'm not sure about Indonesia. Here we have Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia, we have Yayasan Wakaf Selangor, all right, and we have Selangor Wakaf System, Johor Wakaf System, and each of the state Islamic religious council are responsible for the cash wakaf, and they introduce easy way for people to contribute to cash wakaf. So I'm sure in Indonesia, all right, you might have Majlis Agama Islam Indonesia. I'm not sure. Do you have like Indonesian religious council or something like that, or some wakaf institutions set up by the government? Then they
Yes.
introduce a channel where people can simply pay cash wakaf using online, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, that type. So that way you can show that, okay, this type of cash walk-off developed by federal government, for example. I'm not sure about Indonesia. In Malaysia, we have Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia, set up by the federal government. And this Yayasan Wakaf,
Indonesia, we have.
yeah. So if you want to stick to cash Wakaf, you just stick to cash Wakaf, you know, where people can contribute cash Wakaf through the institution using technology. Cash Wakaf now, you just you can use e-wallet, you can use
Yes.
the technology. Many you
Yes.
can use here Maybank to you, Jompe, many types of technology to contribute cash Wakaf to the. There are many organizations, even NGOs. They contribute. They set up the cash Wakaf. So maybe you can concentrate on one big Wakaf institution that offer cash Wakaf, right? And then maybe
Yes.
maybe you can use the technology acceptance model as the underpinning theory, because the cash Wakaf depends on the technology.
Yeah. There is Badan Wakaf Indonesia. I see it.
Yeah,
there is
Badan Wakaf.
Yes,
yeah,
and Wakaf Indonesia.
Dr. Ifan, I think, is there. He was in Basnas. I see him now vibrant in Badan Wakaf Indonesia. I think it can be helpful also.
I think that would be a more suitable topic.
And he has he's a
Wakaf.
professor, I think. Yeah, he's a professor at IPB Bogo, and he's been into research. I think he can also be very helpful to provide with data and information on Wakaf Indonesia.
Yes, thank you.
I can share with you his contact.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Mr. Hamza and Dr. Sofyan. I will think and find a suitable theme topic.
This is good. You just need to modify a little bit.
Yes.
Ibu Susi, nanti
yes.
kalau dekat problem statement tu, nanti masukkanlah reference. Contohnya Ibu Susi ambil data tu from which department. Kan ada kan dekat problem statement tu.
Yes.
The collection, the number of collection, the number of zakat, cash wakaf. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe this is yes.
Ini.
Yeah.
Could you include the citation ataupun from where you take this number, certain literacy wakaf index 50, from where you take it.
Yes.
Kemudian in the wakaf through cash is cash wakaf or not? Wakaf through cash and cash wakaf is different.
Kalau di Indonesia agak beda ya, Dokter.
Oh, beda.
Ya, cash wakaf. Ya.
Wakaf through cash, cash wakaf.
Okay, bedanya, the difference is suppose wakif want to build a mosque, dia mesti store dana, right? The cash kan. Tapi ini cash melalui wakaf melalui uang, through cash. Tapi ada juga yang cash wakaf. The really cash wakaf is ada dana orang wakaf melalui uang, and the money wakaf this money we develop, kita kembangkan through business, mungkin dikelola, and then the number of money is, for example that's 1 million. 1 million cannot decrease and cannot to be inherited, but from 1 million we do a business and then we develop, and then the margin profit, this one can use for mawquf alai. And for those for the amount of profit, 10% is actually back to Nazir,
Okay.
As a pengelola, 90% to Mauquf Alai. So that's the two different.
Okay.
Wakaf, cash wakaf, true cash wakaf or wakaf. Jadi di Indonesia there is two type of
Two type
cash
of
wakaf.
wakaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So wakaf through cash cannot invest in business. Cash
No.
wakaf can invest in business.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Make sure you make a proper explanation in your thesis. I
Very
think
difficult to explain.
cash
Yeah.
wakaf alone, if only you take only cash wakaf also, it's very huge, I think. So many things you can talk about cash wakaf, I think. Then you want to take takaful, or it's very big topics actually.
Yes, Dr. Sofyan, because maybe in Indonesia there is so huge, but the accumulation, the collected wakaf is still low. So they the government or lawmaker make a what is that? Develop a few type instrument of wakaf, which is this one is more make people are interested. Because some of people in Indonesia are still thinking that, okay, I want to wakaf, but through a mosque or something. But in Indonesia right now, a hot issue, cash wakaf mean what? Okay, people wakaf, do wakaf, then the money, cash wakaf, Nazir will mengelola to make more develop.
Okay.
Yes.
Why you not make the awareness of the wakaf? I think from your explanation, you talk about the awareness.
Awareness.
You talk about the awareness actually. From what your explanation, you talk that in Indonesia, only somebody, rich people will pay, will make a wakaf, right? But not the rich people will not pay wakaf. But in reality, the cash wakaf is not limited to the lower level or the high level. It should be everybody can use it, like.
Oh yeah.
I think
Okay.
your problem is awareness.
Thank you.
I'm not sure.
Thanks for
But
the
from your
idea.
explanation, you want to prove the awareness, but you do something else. I'm not sure.
Okay, so what is that? Guess
Just
awareness of
my idea that just now you talk about the awareness, you talk about the awareness, and then then you talk about the acceptance. You talk many things about the cash wakaf. You can do many anything you want to do.
Thank you. That's
Okay.
why
But do not use technology. If you don't use technology, don't put thumb. Okay. If you use technology, then you put thumb. Pro dah pukul 12 pun tak rehat. Rehat dulu ke macam mana?
Thank you. That's why I said earlier that in Indonesia, talking about wakaf, cash wakaf is very interesting. But then I don't know, maybe it's not quite what's that? To write, to study, maybe. Yeah. So thank you for suggestion.
You can go for awareness. You can go adoption. You can go acceptance. You can go many things. You can go many things.
So,
okay, thank you.
So maybe
yes, Prof.
if you try to focus on just cash wakaf, right? Cash wakaf that has been introduced by, for example, Badan Wakaf Indonesia, right?
Yes.
That is I assume the body set up by the federal government, right?
Yes.
And then you think about the theoretical framework again, right? What you want to study regarding this cash wakaf as introduced by Badan Wakaf Indonesia. Like Dr. Sufyan said, what you want to study? You want to study about awareness. If you want to study about awareness, you really have to have the theoretical framework about awareness. So writing theoretical framework is, I think, the most crucial part of your thesis. If you if you choose a quantitative study, if you do not justify the inclusion of variables in the theoretical framework, your thesis cannot be defended. You cannot defend your thesis. So that is, you know, at this stage, we have to think and think again about our theoretical framework. That is a crucial part. Once we pass that part, you know, we are clear about what you want to do, then inshallah will go more smoothly. So this is the difficult part. All right. So now I
Yes,
think
Prof.
it's clear. Your topic is cash wakaf actually.
Yes.
Okay, you can choose cash wakaf as introduced by the largest institutions in Indonesia. You can talk about in the introduction. You can talk about what, for example, Badan Wakaf National has done in Indonesia, similar to what Mr. Hamzah did. He talks about the contributions of House of Zakat and Wakaf, because House of Zakat and Wakaf is one institution set up by the government regarding zakat. And I believe Badan Wakaf Indonesia is a body set up by Indonesian government, right?
Yes.
So it's important. You can highlight the importance of this study with regards to cash wakaf. I'm sure, like you said, there is a great potential of cash wakaf in Indonesia. So at the end of your thesis, you might want to highlight, you know, the contribution of the study in terms of increasing the collection of cash wakaf. You might want to, you know, that is the thesis, the novelty of the thesis. What you do is actually something new. Something new means the framework that you choose is different from others. You might want to adapt and adopt, modify, and make it like different from others. And it has some contributions. Okay. And let me remind everybody, the colloquium 1 is postponed to 23rd. For those of you who have not presented at colloquium 1, okay, colloquium 1 is on 23rd. I think last time I mentioned or not?
Yes, Prof. 23rd of September, right?
Yeah, 23rd of September. So you must submit by 15th. For those of you who have not presented at colloquium 1. For those of you who have presented, okay, Mr. Hamza, Mr. Masri, Dr. Sufyan, okay, go for proposal defense, okay, and be ready up until the methodology chapter, right? So, but it's better before you present at proposal defense, it's better you do the pilot study first. And of course, before you do pilot study, you must validate the instruments, the items of the instruments. It must go through the phase validity, content validity first before you do the pilot testing, right? Dr. Sufyan, eh? Maybe Dr. Sufyan can explain a little bit. For those who will present at proposal defense. Okay, thank you, Bu Susi.
Thank you, Prof. Um, I will fix my proposal, and whether I change my topic and my theory. Of course, I need to discuss with you, Prof. For in other.
Be ready before the 15th. Before the 15th,
Yes.
you still have time.
I mean,
11 days. Yeah, 11 days.
Yes, hopefully, I will do and work hard for this proposal. Thank you, Prof.
Just the initial plan. Just the initial plan. That's why we call initial plan. We want to make sure that you are ready before you can go forward, right?
I think this class is very good because it gives more comment to students, including myself, so how to develop the framework, the proper framework and the proper procedure. Although we think maybe we need to revise 2 or 3 times, including myself, but we are settled in this class, not in the proper curriculum. We settle here. So I think it's good to get the comment from myself, from Prof, and from our fellow members. I think it's good. Okay, to make sure what we do is correct. For example, if you do your study and in the middle, you know that that is not correct, then it's become terrible. It's better we know that how to do it properly in the beginning, then we know at the end or one day before the viva. Better we know now. Is that? Actually, I jealous for all of a newcomer or new registered student, because I'm already 3rd semester. You are in the 1st semester, already know everything. I think I very jealous. You know everything. Okay, but I'm in the 3rd semester. Okay, I think it's a good class. Okay. Prof, kita rehat dulu ke, Prof? Gimana ni?
It's 12:30 already. I think that's all the class for today. I have another class.
I've seen Prof. There's a chat from Ibu Tuti.
Okay.
He's saying something. I think we can.
Okay.
Have you seen in the chat?
Can we get the tips how to develop theoretical framework and determining the underpinning theory? Thank you. Well, I think I have covered a lot in this class, how to develop a theoretical framework. Okay, let me repeat. First thing, repeat. Please take note. I don't want to repeat the same thing.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay, first thing, you need to get a few past research, right? Past research or PhD thesis, right? In your area, for example, in your area means your DV, if you do the quantitative study. For example, my thesis, compliance behavior, that's the area. Okay. So the first thing what you should do is you should get a few theses or a few research, or if not, you can get the journals, right? The journals regarding your topic. For example, okay, Dr. Sufyan choose the topic of acceptance, right? Acceptance. So that is called the DV or the topic. All right. So your thesis or your research can be in any context. For example, my topic is compliance behavior. The context is income zakat. All right. But you can also choose compliance behavior in tax, regarding tax, compliance behavior regarding Islamic banking, Right. So that is called the context. Zakat, Islamic banking, tax is called the context, or some people call it the environment. But the most important thing is the DV. Yeah. So if you want to use acceptance, okay, you can use acceptance in fund research regarding acceptance in Islamic banking, acceptance in insurance, acceptance in other relevant contexts. The most important is what? We want to get the theoretical framework. We want to see theoretical frameworks that has been done by previous studies. Then you can start, all right? I think I mentioned, like, if you want to draw a house, right? You want to draw a house. Your house must be different from others. So you look at how other people draw their houses, right? And then you compare and you analyze, then you draw your own house. Okay, here is what some other people did. You print the framework, okay, 5 or 6 framework regarding your topic. Okay, acceptance, for example, adoption, for example, usage, for example, right? Must be the same term. You cannot compare framework of compliance with acceptance. No, one common term, right? You print out, put in front, put on the floor, right? And see, okay, what are the common variables? What are not so common variables? Okay, then you decide. How do you decide? You decide based on 2 things. One is based on theory, of course, based on the previous studies. 2, based on the expectation. Based on your expectation. Means, okay, I want to put this variable because theory says so. This person says so. Okay. For example, John 1991 says so. That attitude is significant. So that is based on theory. The second, based on your own expectation. You can say, oh, in the context of zakat in Kedah, this variable is important. Why? All right. So please do not write theoretical framework out of your head. You simply cannot throw in the variables that you like. It must be based on previous studies, right? Must be based on previous studies. My professor said, based on theoretical foundation. Means the previous studies, what theories have been used by previous studies. You include this variable because it has been proven as significant by previous studies. And for PhD, of course, you need some type of novelty, right? Dr. Sufyan, right? You need to come up with something different that can extend the boundary of knowledge. That can extend the boundary of knowledge. For example, in my study, I introduced the religiosity from Islamic perspective that has not been explored before. So it must be, you cannot just copy paste, right? PhD try to be novel. I mean, there is something new that has not been tried before. That is your contribution. Okay, did I answer the question or still not clear?
Yes.
Dr. Sufyan wants to add something. Ibu Tuti,
Yes.
is it clear or
Yeah.
good question? Good question.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw many people still, and including particularly myself, yeah. I'm still very, I mean, I call it myself very stupid or very poor gitu ya. Karena because when I studied, the theory framework has according to my friends, I'm asking to all friends said that it's look like we never get that kind of theory. So that's why for me a little bit takes time to study again and find out from internet. Things that still confusing me, like you asked me to get new tajuk ya, with adoption. The theory is the diffusion theory. Then you ask me again to tie it with the UT, AUT, and TAM. So in here there is 3, right? It's still confusing me which one that I have to focus on. I just chatting with Dr. Sofyan. It need only once theory, like as we call it, underpinning. So in here I'm still confusing whether I use the underpinning DIT, diffusion innovation theory, or using the UT, AUT, because when I'm talking the innovation, I actually choosing the communication channel. Yeah, I'm not taking the innovation itself.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you get it.
So like I said, first thing, it starts with you, right? And we give you guidance, right? So we all need to learn from each other, right? So you have to have a few theses. If you cannot decide, oh, I don't know. So you need the previous thesis. I think I mentioned.
Yeah.
I mentioned in my case, I got a few theses on compliance behavior, which really helped a great deal for me. Like Mr. Hamza, right? You got a few previous theses, a few previous research that help you guide. So yeah, you need to talk to your supervisor, or I'm your supervisor. All right. So, but you need to come up, at PhD level, students, okay, once they got the guidance, I expect them to be able to absorb and to do the work independently. Come back to me and show that what you do is justified. Show it. You need to prove it. That your framework is justified. Why you include this variable? Why you include this variable, right? So at PhD, is about justification. How you justify? Okay, based on 2 things: the previous studies and the expectation. All right.
Prof.
Yes, Ms. Hamza.
Okay, as justice, I shared with you my improved questionnaires. Hopefully you received. And since you said that we have to do a pilot study, then I'll need your feedback to see if I improved accordingly.
Dr. Sufyan can help with questionnaire.
Boleh.
Ms. Hamza wants to show the questionnaire and see.
Okay. Let me share. Can I share?
Before you share, for those of you who are in the process of writing questionnaire, please avoid write your own questionnaire. The best items of the questionnaire, the best way to defend your questionnaire or items in the questionnaire is by adapt and adopt from previous studies. And then you can, after you adapt or adopt, then you can go to the expert, right? Go to the expert in your field and show to them to check the what we call the face validity and the content validity of the items. All right. Now you can show.
Okay.
Bro, tapi ada lagi student yang tak present kan? We still have student not presented in our group kan? Kita semua dah present.
Kena tunggu minggu depan pula.
Berapa orang tak present lagi?
Ramai lagi ya?
How many students not yet presented here? Berapa orang?
Not all register.
Mutiara,
some of
Ibu
them.
Mutiara angkat tangan. Angkat tangan siapa yang tak present lagi, angkat tangan. Ibu Mutiara, Mr. Suraidi. Siapa lagi? Pak Perigi belum ah? Belum apa Pak Perigi?
Saya belum register.
Belum register.
Belum register, they just sit in.
Oh, Abdul Rahman? Pak Abdul Rahman? Dah. Dah.
Ustaz Rahman dah present belum?
Ustaz Rahman belum.
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 So ada 3, we have 4 lah. 4. Ibu Mutiara, Mr. Suraidi.
Oh, Mr. Masri. Mr. Masri is not here.
Ada ramai lagi Prof tak present lagi kan?
Next week lah.
Pak Ari Srianto.
Belum.
Pak Ari sudah register belum?
Belum mungkin ya.
Saya belum lah. Pak Ari dengan Pak Prayogi just sit in.
Ada 4 orang belum present Prof. 4 orang lagi.
Next week later, insyaAllah. Mr. Hamzah, you want to show?
Yeah, let me show.
All right.
It's the demographics first. I think this is okay. I looked at since Dr. Sufyan asked about it, it's gender and age is there. Then marital status, I don't know if it's important, but I put it. There's education, employment, and job. Okay. I thought also including the NISWAB, the minimum threshold for Zakat payment. Then business.
Okay, that is the NISWAB, right? Number 7.
Yeah, NISWAB in our currency.
Okay.
Silver
Okay.
backed. Yes. Then I put business type. Then attitude here. The questions about this section have been adopted from the studies of this one. And I tried to also adapt and adopt from your study, Professor, on attitude. I think then I asked, the first question is this. At first, I had constructed the questionnaires from my head, depending on what I understood. And then I had to look for studies, but they are very rare to get. And others have a few questions. So you have to.
If you adapt and adopt, it's okay. If you adapt and adopt, it's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
Okay.
So first question.
Quickly go down. It's okay.
Okay. Quickly. The second question, I find Zakah difficult to understand. I'm interested in paying zakah.
Number two, you have to check, is it related to attitude?
I don't know. You can
This,
tell.
this looks like it's related to complexity. Okay, check.
I'll check this one.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm interested in paying zakah. I think this one, number 3 is okay. I pay zakah through households. I think
Yeah.
paying zakah.
Okay. Quickly move down. Quickly move down. I trust, I think, I find it valuable. Okay. Number 12, you check from who you get this one.
This one from you, I think, from you. Baraka, your question about Baraka, getting Baraka by paying zakah. So here I adopted rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, quickly move, go down. So if you adapt and adopt, then it's okay. This one you adopt from Scompopolo. Okay.
And Volule, 2018.
Okay. It's okay. We will discuss. We will discuss privately. Okay. So the most important is you adapt and adopt, and don't write it on your own, because there are many problems if you write on your own. Then we will check your questionnaire and we will send to some experts. Okay, we choose, for example, 2 experts. Dr. Sofyan, how many experts that you choose to check for the validity? Okay, so it's okay, Ms. Hamzah. We will check the validity we send to the experts before you do the pilot testing. So for each construct, my suggestion is at least you have to have 8 instruments. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all the class for today. So for those who have not presented yet, be prepared for next week. We try to finish next week. How many people present today? How many presented today? I forgot already.
Three.
Three.
Only 3?
3, Prof. Yes.
I'm not good at managing the time. So I give freedom. Actually, in colloquium 1, you will not be given the freedom. Only 15 minutes for presentation. So you should prepare and make yourself eloquent. You have to finish in 15 minutes. But in this class, it's just more like a practice for you before you present at the colloquium and proposal defense. So for the rest of you, please make a preparation. Next week, try to be faster. You try to rehearse so that everybody can finish presentation next week before we go on to other topics. Okay. So for those of you who will go for proposal defense, like I said, okay, make the preparation and then you have to fill in the form. If you're ready, I think you need to fill in the form 2 months. So if you think you are ready within 2 months, you can fill the form now. Okay, and send the...
Bulan, bro. 2 months.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think something like that. Or 1 month, is it? 1 month. I will check. Or you can ask Dr. Tahir. you need to feel the intent to present a proposal defense. I think 1 month prior. So if you think you'll be ready within 1 month, then you can submit the form first, and then submit your draft for proposal defense 2 weeks before the time. Mr. Hamza, when are you going to present?
I think I feel ready in a month from now if I correct all what I've been advised to correct.
Yeah. So you can do
I
the
think
pilot testing. Pilot testing should be quick.
Yeah, my challenge I think is in chapter 3 now. There are a few basics I have to master.
Okay, Mr. Hamza. Dr. Sufyan, boleh ready ya dalam masa sebulan ke?
InsyaAllah, Prof. InsyaAllah. Saya cubalah.
Soal lagi, Mr. Mio. Mr. Mio is gone, is missing in action. Our friend. All right. So for those of you who will go for colloquium 1, okay, let me remind you to be ready by 15th of this month. Okay, submit your proposal. Your initial plan and the form. Some people have submitted already, I think. If you have submitted already, it's okay. Ustaz Azizo submitted already.
Saya kena ubah tajuk sikit, Prof.
Oh,
Nanti
nak
saya
buat.
submit balik.
Boleh submit semula. Kalau nak tak ubah tajuk, boleh submit semula.
Ya.
Dan maklum kepada Dr. Toher,
Baik.
this is the latest, kan?
Ya.
Prof, tukar tajuk dia kena isi borang ke macam mana? If we change the title, so what you need to do?
Dia ada borang change of title, but I'm not worried about that now. Kita present dulu sebab change of title can happen at any time. So, change of title is okay. I think the most important is to go through colloquium 1, proposal defense. Okay. Then we go for colloquium 2. Because change of title, I think anytime we can feel. If we feel change of title every semester, we have to change. Maybe later on maybe after proposal defense, because sometimes examiner gives suggestions and students need to change. As long as it's not big or major, right? Just wording, something like that, you can postpone the change of title, maybe after colloquium 1 or after proposal defense. Like Mr. Hamza, I think not much change, but you still need to fill the form. Maybe after proposal defense, because maybe some people will give you suggestions on the title. All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
So hopefully this class will be beneficial. Sorry for any mistakes. Okay. So inshallah we will meet again. And please, the rest of you who have not presented, please make it brief, so that we give chance for everybody to present. All right. So thank you everybody again. That's all the class for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you
Terima kasih,
everyone.
Prof.
Take care. Safe.
Terima kasih, Prof. Terima kasih.
Sama.